The simple notice was a rectangular blank stare, Helvetica type, 1/32 of a page in black and white. Players and coaches wanted for professional women's football team. In June 1971, the advertisement appeared on page 34 of the Toledo Blade, in the sports section, camouflaged by ads for Firestone Tires and Imperial Lane's All-You-Can-Bowl, and the postings for the horses at Raceway Park. Lee Holler had just clocked out of her shift at the Libby Glass Plant, a 4-acre churning furnace north of downtown. After work, she liked to read the Blade on her porch in the thick evening air. When she saw the ad, she had no words. She read it over again and again in disbelief. The ad struck Holler not as a sign of the times, but another sign, a calling whose specificity hit her like music. Her entire life she had known she was different. She never paraded around in dresses or dated boys, like her 3 sisters had. And while she had joined many of her classmates on the volleyball court or the softball diamond, she had always wanted something more. She had always dreamed of being a football player. Gloria Jimenez never thought she belonged in a beauty parlor. But for the daughter of migrant farm workers, the term career path didn't apply. At least cutting hair at the North Shore Salon beat picking tomatoes, which she still did on weekends to help the family make ends meet. Plus she could gab the day away with her pal Dorothy Parma, who one day showed her an advertisement for a women's football team. Having grown up with 9 brothers and sisters, it was easy to imagine. Hitting, tackling, bashing. Now that's where I belong, Jimenez thought. One of 11 children, Pam Schwartz had grown up on Toledo's east side, where the air smelled of burning oil from the refinery and tomatoes from the Hunt's packing plant. With 4 brothers and 6 sisters, Schwartz learned to eat fast, like a pup at feeding time. Get what you can and get it quick. When she saw the ad in the Blade, she could hear the world shout at her like a playground dare. "I'll bet you can't do that." Davy Lynn Burrows was 34 and worked at Frank's nursery transplanting trees and stacking bags of mulch and feed. Her 6-foot 2-inch frame carried 220 pounds. Finally, she thought, after reading the advertisement, a shot in a sport she was built to play. The Skyle sisters, Diane and Debbie, grew up in Genoa, in a foundationless house their father had built with materials he'd found. Part Shawnee, he'd raised his twin daughters to ignore what people said you were supposed to do and follow the spirit that flows in your veins. They never owned a TV, never got the message that women were not supposed to play football. When the sisters heard the call for female football players, they didn't think twice. They had spent their autumns in the prairie behind their makeshift ranch doing what every girl presumably did, playing football.